Anti-apartheid activists were tortured here. Their spirits demand justice. The Khubusana Street Hostel in Langa was a place steeped in history. Once a hub for anti-apartheid activists, it had witnessed both courage and suffering. Today, it stood as a crumbling reminder of the past, its halls echoing with the whispers of those who had fought for freedom. At night, the hostel came alive in a different way. The hallway lights flickered, casting long shadows that seemed to move on their own. The air grew heavy, and the faint sound of voices chanting freedom songs in isiXhosa filled the corridors. Visitors often spoke of an oppressive feeling, as if the walls themselves were watching. During the darkest days of apartheid, the hostel had been a safe house for activists, but it was also a place of betrayal. Security forces raided the building, torturing and killing those inside. The spirits of the fallen were said to linger, their cries for justice echoing through the halls. Locals avoided the hostel after dark, warning that the activists' spirits were restless. They demanded recognition, their voices growing louder with each passing year. Those who dared to enter often left with stories of ghostly apparitions, phantom chants, and a sense of overwhelming sorrow. One night, a tourist named Daniel arrived at the hostel, drawn by its history and the thrill of the unknown. Armed with his phone and a sense of adventure, he began to explore the dimly lit hallways. The flickering lights and the eerie silence only added to the atmosphere. As he turned a corner, he heard it, the faint sound of voices chanting in isiXhosa. The hairs on the back of his neck stood on end, but he couldn't resist filming. He raised his phone, the camera capturing the empty hallway. Suddenly, the chanting grew louder, and a ghostly procession appeared. Figures in tattered clothing, their faces solemn as they marched in unison. Daniel's hands trembled as he filmed, his breath coming in short gasps. The figures turned toward him, their eyes hollow and filled with pain. Before he could react, a shadowy hand reached out from the wall, yanking the phone from his grasp. The screen flickered, and the footage began to change. Grainy images of 1976 protests filled the screen. Crowds of activists, police batons, and the sound of gunfire. Daniel's face appeared in the footage, his expression twisted in agony as burns and blood marred his skin. He dropped the phone, backing away in terror. The chanting grew deafening, and the hallway seemed to close in around him. The last thing he saw was the ghostly procession advancing, their hands reaching out as if to pull him into their ranks. The next morning, Daniel was gone. His phone was found in the hallway, its screen cracked but still displaying the haunting footage. In the hostel's archives, a new photo appeared, a vintage black and white image of the 1976 protests. Among the faces of the activists was Daniel's, his features burned and bleeding, his eyes filled with the same pain as those who had come before him. The hostel remained silent during the day, but at night, the chanting resumed. The spirits of the activists marched on, their cries for justice echoing through the halls. And somewhere in the shadows, Daniel's voice joined theirs, a new soul added to their ranks.